Hello, and welcome to knowledgebank.pro. Today we will talk about the latest release of Power BI Desktop, July 2020 release, and also I will talk a little bit about how to stay current with Power BI world in general. Generally speaking, staying current on Power BI is not that simple. So there's a lot of thought leader and industry luminaries out there who are providing timely updates on some of the new features that are coming out, whether it is on the service or in the Power BI desktop or the mobile app. So there's a lot of coverage from outside of Microsoft, and I'm sure you are already subscribing to a bunch of those resources already. The question is there anything you could do to follow the news and stay current using the Microsoft-owned resources? And the resource number one is the Power BI blog. So if you just Google Microsoft Power BI blog, you will find this page very easily, and on this page you will see the latest updates from Microsoft. Usually every week there is one or two posts, and they talk about some of the new features, and once a month you will get the most important or the most anticipated story, at least for me, and that is that month feature summary updates for the Power BI desktop. Another source for what the Power BI team might be working on is located at ideas.powerbi.com. So here, if you log into that site, you're able to search for the ideas that have been posted and also create your own ideas, as well as vote on the ideas that are currently in the site. In my experience, Microsoft is looking at these ideas quite a bit, and these ideas are helping Microsoft shape its roadmap. However, there's a couple of issues with the site. Let me just point it out for you right now. So if you go into the completed section of the site, you will see a couple of kind of worrying trends. So for example, you will see how often these ideas are completed. So you will see that the latest several ideas were completed in May, 528, 522, and then so the first 528, second 522, the third one is 1/23/2020, and then the fourth one is 10/21/2019, and that gets worse from there. So I'm not sure if Microsoft just no longer maintains this, if they just don't keep it current. I know for sure that they look at these ideas quite a bit. I also know that they use these ideas quite a bit as they try to shape their roadmap. I just wish they did a better job of maintaining the status of these ideas. And also, I wish that when we look at the desktop feature summary, there was some sort of linkage or traceability between some of the features and some of the new capabilities that are released here with the ideas that have been requested on the ideas site. So that's issue number one. I really would love if when I go through these new enhancements, if I could trace them back to the ideas and get an idea of how much of those requests are being actually completed. The next resource that we have is the publicly available Power BI roadmap. So this page is a little bit harder to find. I will post all of these links in the description of the video to make it easier for you guys to find them. But there is a site where Microsoft posts its roadmap for the entire Power Platform, including Power BI. So here, currently the way this is done is the roadmap is broken into years, and then within a year there's waves. So currently, the current roadmap is available for 2020 Wave 2 plan, and I believe that goes from October 2020 to March 2021. And then here you will be able to see all of the new features that Microsoft is officially announcing that it will be working on in the upcoming wave. So the things, for example, that I cannot wait for here is lasso select for data points and a bunch of others. And composite models for Power BI, super, super important, and I cannot wait for that feature. But again, so we have a wave currently. What's easy to find, and you can see here it says 2020 release Wave 2 plan. There is not official link for Wave 1 plan anywhere in the site anymore, but with some sophisticated financial engineering, you can replace 2 here for 1, and you will be able to get to the Wave 1 still. and see what those are. Somewhere here also there are PDF documents. So there are PDF documents that outline the entire roadmap, and then you could go into Power BI, and then this one is for Wave 2. I also have a Power BI release Wave 1 plan, and then you could take a look at different features and enhancements that Microsoft is working on. So the reason I'm showing you this is that this stuff is publicly available. So it's definitely a good idea to stay on top of this roadmap so you can plan better on your end as well. Now, those roadmap announcements are not updated quite as often. So I think you will see those roadmaps updated for each wave maybe one time. So 2 times a year, you will see a new communication from Microsoft regarding the roadmap. But these blog posts from Microsoft are coming out at least once a month, and they summarize what's been available in the current release. So here in the last one, we see the following buckets. We see reporting, analytics, visualizations, modeling, data preparation, template apps, and other. And the problem for me is that as you look at these things, sometimes it's hard to understand in what context these announcements are done. Are we reporting that one of the suggestions or idea has been completed? Are we delivering on a commitment from the roadmap? Or we're just fixing an existing bug or providing an enhancement that probably should have been in there to begin with. And if you're not staying current with all of the thought leaders and luminaries in the field, as well as all of the Microsoft official announcements, it's very easy to miss some important updates. So for example, if you look at the latest report, and let's just go bucket by bucket and see what's been announced. So I'm not going to get too deep into those. You can go ahead and find this blog by yourself. Usually it's accompanied by a YouTube video where they go and detail all the changes. There is really not much for me to add. So I'm just going to provide color commentary on how I feel about these changes or enhancements. Okay, gradient legend. Cool feature. On the grand scheme of things, probably significance 1. Ability to customize slicer header text. Cool feature. Significance probably 2. Relative time filter generally available. Again, nice to know. It's a cool feature, but nothing really new in terms of functionality. Then we have some enhancements to Q&A. I think it's a really cool visual. I don't see a lot of customers using it. Maybe it's because people don't know how to use it. Maybe it's not quite as useful in a typical scenario. Maybe it's a perfect fit for some scenarios, not a fit at all in others. So I rarely see that visual used in production. Visualizations. So here there's announcements for the Azure Maps visual. I already did 2 videos on this topic, one before the release and one with a mini review. I think that visual is very promising. However, for the use case that I'm working on, it's not very usable due to the limitations. I'll post a link in the video so you can click on it and see how I felt about this control in a more detailed review. Microsoft also posts updates to some of the custom visual in this post. So sometimes I will review those custom visuals. This particular one, multi-axis chart by XViz, I have not reviewed yet, so maybe I'll review that at some point in the future. Modeling is the next bucket. Support for Excel financial functions. This is awesome. Every time we see more features and functions added to DAX, I get excited. So there's never enough functions and functionality in DAX. So every time something new is added, it's 2 enthusiastic thumbs up. Some of these features are quite important. So I think overall, this is probably significance of 5. Model view enabled for Live Connect is now generally available. That does not give us any incremental enhancements other than we're now calling preview general available. So skip that. Data preparation, global options to disable automatic tab detection. Cool. Template app, YouTube analytics by MAQ software. Cool. And then we have something that's kind of mentioned in passing. Launch external tools from Power BI desktop preview. What's interesting about this is that in and of itself, just because we could do these external tools, it seems like it's not a big deal. However, along with this came the support for calculation groups, which is on a scale from 1 to 10 is 11. It's amazing. It's one of the biggest improvements to the modeling capabilities that we now have in Power BI that we have seen in many, many months. So calculation groups that I somehow align along with this announcement, because tabular editor is the tool that would allow us to create those calculation groups. By the way, I do have a video or a couple of videos on that topic as well on the channel. I'm just surprised that there's not a single announcement here about calculation groups. So you have an announcement that's 10, that's super important to understand, and there's not a single mentioning of that in this post. So I think it's a miss. The topic has been covered by a lot of about a lot of other channels, so I'm sure you're already aware of it. I'm just surprised that such a huge announcement did not make it to the blog post. So that's about it for today. Just to summarize, make sure that you check the blog site for Microsoft Daily. Microsoft does publish something once or twice a week. Particularly look forward to the monthly article dedicated to the new features available in that month's release of Power BI Desktop. Look for the roadmap articles on the Microsoft site. I will provide a couple of links in the description of this video, but those links become outdated every couple of months. Look for the PDF documents. Those documents have a little bit more detail and some more additional information about the roadmap. And most importantly, make sure that you follow all of the people who are doing the hard work of trying to stay current with all the updates, because unfortunately, there is not one good place where you could just go and get all of the latest updates with respect to releases and roadmap from Microsoft. And that's it for today. Thanks for stopping by. Look forward to seeing you back very soon. Bye.